Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Mika, let me enable the chat for everyone. All right. Hello, David. Hi, Denise. Hi, Edgar. Hi, Francois. Hi, Bertrand. Florian is on. Let me promote you to panelist, dear sir. So if you have any questions, if you're new to these office hours, the idea is that for around an hour, Florian, our CPO, answers your questions. So the idea is that in the Q&A, so if you want to chat, there's a chat box, feel free to chat, and that'll be kind of the conversation throughout the office hours. But if you have a question to ask, please open the Q&A tab and ask your question in there. It makes it easier for us to ensure that we don't forget any questions. We do have limited time, so we try to answer one question per person, and sometimes if it's too technical, we'll invite you to post in the community if we think it will be easier than having you hop on board and share your screen. Hey Flo, how are you doing?
Hi Joyce, I'm doing good, thank you. And you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Hi everyone.
All right. We've got David with a question already, so let's have David hop on. More promoted panelist. And the question is about range inputs, linking range inputs with a variable. The objective is that the sum of all range values does not exceed the variable's value. All right, so I guess David will share. Hey, David, how are you doing?
Hey David.
Good, thanks. I hope you as well. You have a bit of sun, finally. Where I am, actually, it's good today.
Okay, nice.
So here's the question. I'll try to have it a bit clear for you to understand. So I have here this thing here which gets this savings here value, which differs from users to user. And for this person, let's say it's 3,000. And I'd like that whenever the user selects something here, so it can be 2 lines or 10 lines, it's a data grid, it depends how many values they have. But the sum of these, which can be 2, 5, 10, does not exceed this amount here. And I try to think how I could do it, but I just can't find, so maybe if you know. Hope that makes sense.
Can you select the range input? I just need to check something.
Yep. Oh, I put something into max range, so that it goes from 1 to this.
Yep. But so this is where you need to calculate the sum of everything. Okay, so I have an idea. Let's create a new variable for this.
Okay.
So you can call it sum of maximum sum, something like this. Maximum. Okay, perfect. So it's a number. You can set up a default value. I mean, well, you can put 3,000, but it doesn't matter anyway.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. You can click no for preserve on navigation. I don't think you need that, and you can click create. Okay, perfect. So now you need to add a workflow on this input. So can you click on the third tab? What we are going to do is we are going to update this variable when a change is done. And we are going to calculate everything. So you can click new here. You can give it a name so we don't forget. on the right. So it's save the sum of all numbers. Okay, and so now you can, so this is going to be triggered anytime there is a change on one of these range input, those range input. So now you can add an action, update variable. Yeah, change variable value, thank you. And and you can select the variable you just created. So something, some max. Yeah, max sum. Perfect. And here you can click bind. Okay, so okay, in here we have the context of the row, but we need the global all the values. So I think you need to select the third tab. Yes, with the collection. I think this is coming from a collection, right?
Oh, yes, coming from a
Okay.
collection.
So what collection is it?
Oh, it's
This
this
one?
one, and it's
This
that's
it's
this one.
okay, perfect. So don't do this. In here, we need the array. So can you click on the parent of this? Yes, the array. Perfect. So we are going to use, so in here you have 2 lines, perfect. So what we need to do is first, we are going to do what we call a roll-up. So can you put the cursor at the beginning of the formula? And you can go to formula, the last tab here, go to array, and we have normally something called, it's not a roll-up, it's in the last line, yes, here. Okay, so roll-up text, array, then the key, and then the extent. Okay, perfect. So you can move this one at the beginning, perfect. Yeah. And then you need to type in between quotes the name of the key we are looking for. So where you have the number, it's progression or something like this. I don't remember. You can check. You can check in here.
Max.
No, not this
In
one.
your collection,
In your
in your
collection.
collection, what is it? Where is the value? And what?
Yes, it was here. Oh no, sorry, it's not the right collection. It should be around here. So
Monthly saving. You can copy paste monthly saving. We're gonna need
yeah.
it for
Okay.
later in the formula. Yeah, perfect. And monthly saving, perfect. And you can remove the rest.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so why do we have only one in here? You have
It's normal because it's per user.
it's per user, but you had 2 lines, right? In the table.
Yeah, but I changed the collection. But in the table, it's
not
related to objectives, so it can be one to many. But
That's what you want to sum, right?
yes, but it has to sum to this amount. That's the maximum, and the range should not exceed this.
Okay. So we are going to use this later. So first, just select the collections, the collection you are displaying. I mean, what we want is all the numbers. So I think
Okay, sorry. So then it's this one.
it's for later, this one.
Yeah, my bad.
No worry. No worries.
And then what is
Okay.
the column name?
Yes, data and so maybe it's not. Yeah, can you open just one of them?
There are many. So
Target amount, is it? Or
it's the amount or the name of
Yeah.
the.
what are you trying to calculate? Right now, we're trying to calculate the sum. So the idea is we're going to calculate the sum, and then with that sum, we'll be able to block so that it doesn't go over 3,000.
Then it's this one. Yeah, but it will
monthly
exceed.
allocation. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
it
need
will
to type
exceed.
in. You need to type in monthly allocation.
Okay, will do.
Okay, perfect. You can remove this. Okay, and you see in here we have don't close yet.
Yeah, sorry.
So in here we have an array with just all the values, basically your column. Okay, so now you can go to the beginning of the formula and use the formula called sum. So it's in a row, but you can type in sum and open it, and go to you can close it at the not here, really at the end of the formula, because you need to wrap everything.
Okay.
And now you have the sum of all your columns, your column.
Okay.
Okay, so now you need to make so this is perfect. And what we want to do, so we have this, and so we need this to be below 3000. So just give me a second.
Thing is, I thought that the range inputs would be like the values from the range input would be used here instead of what's in the collection. But I mean, I'm a bit lost.
Okay, I got it. So basically what you need, so we cannot do it like this. It's a bit more complicated because it's not the same value for all your input. The max range is dynamic, and you need to take what is remaining. Okay, so give me just 1 second.
Sure. If you prefer, I can send you a private message if you don't want to spend too much time on that one.
No, I think what's important is that you understand the logic. So if you go back to your screen before,
Yes.
so what are we looking at here? The maximum is 3000. I understand this. And then the value in your collection, right now the values are much higher than this.
Yes.
And is that normal? Or should every user start on 0?
Those values are pre-calculated, but has to be modified here by the user. Like when the values will be defined here, the continue will send an API call to redefine those values, right? And that's why I need them to be defined here.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the current values in your collections are wrong, or
Yeah, I needed them to launch other formulas. That's why, but they're not correct. But they're not displayed to the user at this stage, so it's in the back.
okay.
It's a bit messy at the moment.
No worries, no worries. I was just
Alright.
trying to understand. But so the logic that go ahead, Flo, if you.
Yeah, I think we can manage now with the binding. So let's try this. Can you select yes, this one, but the range? Can you go to the property max here? Okay. So basically the maximum here should be 3000 minus the sum of everything, right?
Yes.
So this is what you need to type in here.
Some.
So no. You can select the variable we just created. At least it would save you that time. Or
Yes.
we can.
So it's this one.
Yeah. And you can
Did
remove
we
some.
save it? I think.
You need to remove some. You don't need some.
Mm-hmm.
And 3000 doesn't need to be dynamic, I don't think. Is the maximum always 3000?
Yes. Yeah. It won't move.
So I don't think you need to, the first argument here, you're binding to information from your collection, but you probably don't need to do that.
I mean, it won't move for a user, but for another user, it will be another amount. That's why I have
Okay.
it connected to a variable.
Okay. So it's almost right. The problem with this is that you need to add plus the current value, because in here it also consider. So you need to click the first tab.
This one?
Yes, and basically add the current value.
Current value being the one from the range, right?
Yes, from this one. Yes, exactly. because right now we are removing all of them, but this is not entirely true. We need to minus all of, I mean, you need to remove all of them except the one you are on. And I
Yes.
think that would work. So
But
plus
because the
monthly
range is in
allocation, not monthly allocation. Are you sure this is monthly allocation we used before? Because I see 1080 something.
Yeah, I thought it would be here from the thingy.
But it's not because you're in a repeating group, you're in a
Ah.
Yeah.
collection list.
Yeah, no, you really need to use this one. Or okay, let's be a bit smarter. You can remove the plus and we are going to update the workflow instead. So
Okay.
you can do that. Let it like this. But and just play around with the just once so we could have you cannot because max range is 0. Okay, let's change the that's because it's because we put max sum to 3000 as a default value. So can you put something higher? Just for or not higher, but
Let's say here we say 1 million or something, just and then we can.
okay, yes, then you can play. Okay, great. So yeah, just play with one of them. So okay, perfect. The workflow is triggered, and now we can go back to the workflow. So select the input, go to the workflow here. Okay, perfect. And in here, so we say it's the max is everything here minus in here. No minus, sorry. It's before this is 3000 minus this.
So 1 million then?
Yes, 1 million or the binding you had before. You can put it immediately here. Well, okay, 1 million minus this, you can change this later.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the end, in here, click plus, type in plus, sorry. And go to the lightning tab, so the fourth tab, just to have the event. And in here, open it and click value. Okay, and it's plus the value of the current one. And I think this should work. So you can test it. Maybe update a bit and normally.
No.
Oh no. Okay, we may need to take a moment for the workflow. I see the time.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Does it help
It's a
you,
number.
David, in terms of
It needs to be a
it's
number. You
instead of a
need to wrap
string.
everything into 2 number. So at the beginning of this formula, you need to add a formula called 2 number. So really at the beginning, 2 number, open the parentheses and
close it at
remove
the
just the
end.
last parentheses and oh no, you had to keep it. Yes, remove just the last parentheses because it's a wrapper and add it to the end. Okay, it's better. I think it's going to work a lot better.
Yeah, maybe I need to refresh, but let me try and because time is flying, and in case I can
send a message and we can help
thanks
you.
a lot.
But this is something like this that you need to do.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye
Talk to
bye.
you soon. Oops. All right. I'm just seeing Luke's question. So Luke, I know you followed up in the community and I know you opened a bug ticket. We were on our on-site last week, so we're a little bit late on bugs and answering in the community, but we will do this this week.
Yeah.
Davey, so I'll come back to you, Bertrand, in a second, but there are a few things I'd like to address first. Mika had a question about getting started with push notifications and real-time updates. So at the moment, well, actually, let me invite you on board, Mika, but I think the answer will be that at the moment, you can't quite do that. But let me invite you quickly so we can just talk quickly about your use case and make sure we answer in that context. So as some of you know already, we mentioned it, I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, but we are working on Supabase real-time and Xano real-time. So that's in the works, but it's not live yet. Hey, Mika, do you want to tell us a
How's it
little bit about
going?
your use case?
Yeah. So there's multiple parts to our app, but a big part of it is going to be push notifications. And so I was going to see either what the timeline would be on like when it's going to natively be a part or if it is. And if there's any advice for any workarounds that you can do with like custom code, if there would be any advice on like the roadmap to take there.
Okay, so about the notifications. So right now, the only thing you can do is to display a notification only if the application is opened. It won't appear if the application is not open on your phone. This is something else we need to do. We need to create a dedicated plugin for this, like Firebase or something like this. And this won't come right now. So I think it's going to be something for next year. But right now, what we wanted to do is to only have PWA support, basically. And the push notification like you want is the last step, and this last step is not for now.
Okay,
So
cool. So it'd probably be more of a 2025 thing.
Exactly. Not
Okay,
before.
cool.
So
And then
yes.
yeah, I had a question on some of the real-time updates with Supabase. Basically, I'm trying to store all of my information in a variable. That way I can paginate. But it's a little hard whenever I receive a new update, since I'm not binding directly to that collection. It's hard for me to get those new updates into that variable. And I don't know if there's any like JavaScript, which I probably need, but I'm not exactly sure what JavaScript I need. So I didn't know if you have any resources that would kind of point me in the right path.
So it's not simple to do. Yeah, you can use JavaScript, but you would need to use the Supabase SDK for that with your instances, and it's not being something easy to do. But like Joyce said, we are going to update this. So we wanted to wait for the Xano real time also to productize something that would work for all providers. So that's why we were waiting to improve the Supabase real time, because we wanted to wait for Xano real time too. So now that we know how it works, we had those workshops last week, to tell you the truth. And so now we have a pretty good picture on how we are going to make it. So basically it's going to be a global trigger that you're going to have, and you're going to be able to add some parameters to this global trigger, and then basically trigger any workflow you want. And you're going to be able to use the value of this trigger as you want. So this is something coming.
Yeah.
We are working on it. We have some things to test first. And we already begin those tests. So hopefully this is something we are going to release this month. So if it's not urgent, you can wait for it. So in the coming 4 weeks, basically. And
cool.
otherwise, you need to check the SDK to do it in JavaScript yourself.
Okay, cool. Can I ask one more, maybe like 1 minute question?
Sure.
Okay,
Go for it if it's really 1 minute. Otherwise, I'll just kick you
Yeah.
off in the middle of the answer.
Be careful.
So it just is in regards to page switching performance. So I have like a bottom navigation on my app so that it looks like a normal app navigation. But whenever you switch from page to page, it's still really fast when it comes to like website performance. But when it's like PWA performance, it's not quite instant like some other apps like Twitter if you use their PWA. And so I'm just wondering, is that a limitation of it not having offline support? Or do you know what the bottleneck would be in that case?
So it depends. If you have something like a sidebar and a header that is the same in your pages, make sure to use multi-page section. I don't know if you use that. So normally when you publish the application, those sections won't be reloaded. So it's not like in the editor. So So at least those parts of the application won't reload. And after that, so is it a private page or is it a
It is
public
not,
page?
no. So it's just a normal page. And I've done it with blank pages as well that don't have any
Mhm.
on-page workflows. It doesn't have any collection fetching or any of that. It's just,
Okay.
and it's still, like I said, it's very fast. It's probably like maybe half a second to load. But when you compare
Mhm.
it to like a native app and then like that Twitter
Mm.
PWA, it feels a little bit slower. And I was just wondering if there's a way to make it so that it's a little bit faster.
So yeah, it depends of the page. Basically, if you have anything inside the page, it could take a time
but
to render.
Okay.
you tested already on a blank page. Yeah. I
I
would be
did.
very curious to
Yeah.
if you can record a short video, that would be
Okay.
amazing. We can share with the tech team so they can take a look.
Yeah.
My guess, I mean, I don't have the technical expertise, but my guess is it sounds like a limitation,
Yeah, it is.
but yeah, it'd be cool to have the video because honestly, we haven't dug that deep yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last thing you need to you can work on, but this is pretty hard to do. It's to work on cache.
Hmm.
To cache the files, and we won't do it for you. So you would have to self-host
Okay.
and add the scripts yourself, because this is something that is we cannot productize basically, because you don't know what to cache. And sometimes
see.
it could be hard. So that as it is something different for every project, we cannot productize it right now. So we are doing our best with the with this. But if
Okay.
you want more performances, especially on a blank page, this is
Okay.
something on the infrastructure part.
Okay.
So
But
Well,
we're
thank
gonna
you guys
make
so
it
much.
way easier to self-host in like a few weeks. So
oh yes,
you can
I
you can
can't
have
wait
fun
for
and
this.
experiment.
I can't wait for this, and you're gonna be able to publish anywhere you want.
Oh, snap. Well, I'm excited. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Awesome questions. Talk to you soon. Bye. We had a question from an anonymous attendee. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah. Anyway, it's how can I add relay canonical link and annotation on one of their page, because right now they're getting errors like duplicate without user selected canonical. Does that ring a bell to you? Or in the chat if you recognize your question, so I can let me know in the chat like your name so I can add you so you can show us. But right now I'm not on my usual setup, so I won't be able to share my screen. Yeah, I don't have the easy answer that way. Does it ring a bell to you? Your question. Do you know? Yeah, okay, so Rian, let me have you hop on board to panelists. That way we can play around with your interface.
Hello guys, can you hear
Hey,
me?
how are you doing? Yep.
Hi, how's it going? Good. So thanks for getting my question. But basically, I was wondering, let me share my screen. Second. Let me know when you're able to see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Ah,
But we
okay.
see our
We
faces.
see,
So.
yeah, we see your Zoom tab.
Ah, yeah, right. Okay. But now I just changed it. Are you
Yeah.
able to see or?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, I have a bunch of pages here on my project that are or static collection space, or they are dynamic, like for example, let me show, this is a structure profile page, and for this page I just show any content depending of the slug that this page receives in URL path. And so this, I know I'm still showing article 1, so the select instructor, and depends on that I will show some content. and I'm getting a lot of errors in Search Console, Google Search Console, about this duplicate canonical URL. I was reading a little bit. It seems that the Google identifies the page as similar content, and it seems that we need to add this annotation to each page with their URL. So first of all, I was trying to do something here and add directly here, but I couldn't find how to get dynamically the same as I do for here. For example, getting this or binding. So I don't know if I can do this in the head block for the custom code here, if it makes sense, the approach I'm thinking, or if there is any other approach that you guys already know about it.
Does it have to be dynamic? This one?
Because here, because if I got it correctly, if I set just one canonical here, it will be for every page, it will be one annotation, right? And it should be for each one, like so the Google can identify every page is different. Or am I wrong?
No, I think you're right, Flo. If I understand the correction correctly, I think at the moment so if I understand your situation correctly, you have several pages that have different URLs but similar content. So Google is flagging it as competing content and wants you to choose to tell it which URL should win. And because you're using dynamic pages, like if you add the canonical URL in the header of the page, it does need to be dynamic. So I don't think there's a satisfying solution for this right now. And I'm thinking, Flo, maybe the solution you put together with the dynamic metadata, maybe if we take it one step further, it can fix this as well. So I'm letting Flo think, Rian, but just for everyone to have the context, I think we've discussed this on several office hours, but Slavo is working on the tutorial right now, actually. So Flo put together a GitHub repository that will allow you to very quickly push dynamic metadata to your collection pages, to your dynamic collection pages. This is because we don't want to add it in the product because we want to focus on web apps. But
I see.
But this is a static page, right? You use the collection page to do that. It's not.
This one actually, it's a normal page that receives.
Okay. So sorry,
that receives a parameter.
You're absolutely right.
But it's happening for static pages as well. For example, this one article. I also I bind with article slug, and some of them, not all of them, but they are also being flagged as similar content, duplicated content. Yeah, this one I believe it's receiving more flags because it's basically just a structure profile, so structure name and picture, so it's very, very similar. Just change actually the real info from structure to structure. So this one is being more flagged right now.
So indeed, you're gonna have to do like Joyce said. So check this tutorial from Slavo with the basically you need to render this dynamic data from the server, and as we want to be focused on the front end of the application, we won't productize this, but this is something you can do with Cloudflare. I don't know if you know this provider.
I'm not using right now, but
Yeah,
I have
okay. So,
I have
so
some
basically this
understanding
is,
about.
yeah, this involves a Cloudflare worker with a bit of code to do this. And so you can, this is called the reverse proxy. And basically when a user asks for this page,
I see.
you're gonna make a call somewhere, or it could be static also if you go into the code, and to update the metadata tag before rendering the page to the users. And so Google will
I
have
see.
the proper data. So this is how
I
you can
see.
turn an SPA into something that has nice SEO.
But in this case, it's just for meta tags, or I can, because in this example, I will need to add the link tag, right?
Yeah, you
With
will,
the
exactly.
it's also
So the idea,
possible.
yeah, so the tutorial we're recording is focused on the metadata. So you will have to take it one step further and make sure that the API call also returns your URL. Like
Exactly.
for each page, you're gonna need to decide which is the canonical URL. And if there is a canonical URL, yeah, you will have to add that.
Okay, got
Slavo
it.
is trying to make the tutorial as user-friendly as possible, so you can be one of our test cases and tell us if
Perfect. For
okay,
sure, I
yeah.
will.
All
Perfect,
right,
perfect.
awesome.
Maybe we
Thanks a lot.
So, okay, I will be
well,
following to check this tutorial as
Hopefully it
possible.
should be here by the end of the week or next week, but I know
next
he
week,
already
yeah.
started working on it.
Perfect,
So
perfect. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for your time.
thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.
See
Thanks.
you later. Bye.
See you.
All right, so Davey has a question about how to display a modal only once per session. Do you have an idea off the top of your head, or should I invite Davey?
Oh, I think you can invite Davey because I'm not sure I got the.
I think it's that
Davey.
so that so let me invite. I'm inviting Davey, but I'm guessing
Once
it's
per
for
session, like a cookie thing, like accept or something like this.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hey Davey.
Hi, Davey.
Good, you?
Good, thanks. So hopefully it's not gonna be too long, but I was just wondering, can you guys see my screen right now? Can you see like the
Yes.
pop-up that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So basically I use the trigger that says unmounted, something like that. So every time I refresh, the pop-up is showing up. But it's actually quite annoying when you're navigating through the website. You go through different pages, pop-up is showing up again. And that's the location one. So I just want to know, is there a way for me to have it once per session and then not anymore until the next session?
Okay, got it. So you need a variable for this, another one. And this variable needs to, or maybe we can play with the one you already have. So do you have the example, an example ready with this pop-up, or it's just in your mind right for now?
No, I have a pop-up that's already set up right now, the user console model. So
okay, if you can quickly,
think
if you can display it. You need to use, make sure you need to toggle preserve on navigation. So when the user goes in on multiple pages, the variable will keep the value.
So I already have the preserve on pages on navigation activated.
Okay, so this is weird. We are on Xano, on the Xano tab. We are not displaying it.
Sorry?
We're seeing your Xano tab, not your WeWeb project.
You see my Xano tab. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, new share. Let me try to see. Okay, sorry about that. Don't know what happened.
Okay, yeah, perfect. We can see it. Okay, so you already have preserve on navigation, modal, user consent modal.
Oh, but it's
I knew it was a
unmounted,
cookie
so-
thing. Okay, so in here, unmounted true false.
Because is there another trigger that I can use, or there's no trigger that exists?
So do you have a close button or something like this to close it, or you just want it to be displayed for a moment and then disappear?
No, I do have two CTA, whether they activate it or they don't, but in both cases, I still want it to be off for the rest of the session, whatever they decide.
And you wish it to be displayed anytime the user comes back, right?
Yeah, so if you come here, you navigate like for 10 minutes and there's nothing happened and then you don't want it, then it's off. But if you come back in 2-3 hours, then maybe I ask you again. Or if you come back the next day, for example, I just don't
So
want
for
it to
me, it
be
should be on
showing up every time
upload.
you load. An upload, okay.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
instead of having on mounted, you would trigger this modal on upload. So if you go to more on the top bar, more.
More?
Yep.
Yeah.
Click here, trigger app workflows.
Trigger app workflows, okay.
Yep. And here you can create a workflow where on upload, you change the variable to true. Change the variable of your
Oh,
modal.
okay, so I can just copy
And
paste my entire flow right here.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Okay.
just do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna copy this, disable more flow, and now page load, upload, okay.
I think on upload will
that-
be enough because then
Yeah.
no matter which, if it's on all the pages of your app, then no matter what page they land on, it will be loaded and they'll do the trick.
Okay, so right now that will be just display once,
Yep.
and basically that's it.
Yeah,
So
unless they
if
really
I-
hard refresh the page. If they refresh the page, like, then I think
Yeah.
it's another upload, but people don't do
but
that.
yeah, but navigating will be enough. That will be
Yeah.
fine when navigating, not when they refresh completely the page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's great. Do you have time for just wanted to ask
No, I'm
for
sorry, we have
Okay,
another
no problem.
11 questions, so. we need
Okay,
to-
okay. I
Sorry.
will just post. I will ask for an update in the community then. Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. Talk
Thanks.
to you soon. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Yeah, we still have 11 questions and 40. But it's awesome because we're having really cool questions. So, Edgar, I think yours is going to be a little bit complex, so I'm just saving it a little bit. Brendan, let me have you on because it's weird behavior with the Airtable plugin. So I'm thinking it's probably a fairly easy fix. So
John, you should, yeah, I can answer.
So-
Right.
John, you want to answer John
Hi.
quickly?
Yeah, just after.
Okay, cool. Hey, Brandon. How
Hey,
you doing?
Brendan.
Hey. So it's been a while since I've jumped into one of these, but I think I've got most of my pieces in place outside of this behavior I'm seeing. Do I have access to share my screen?
Yeah.
See, here we go. Okay. So let me know if this is coming through for you.
Yep. All good.
Okay. So I built a like Dungeons and Dragons database for
Nice.
spells. And I'm planning to expand that out to other stuff. But right now I was running into an issue with Airtable where it seems like if I load more than, I think it's 200 rows, then it kind of craps out and crashes. Is that
Oh, okay.
expected?
Yes, that's completely expected.
Okay.
Let me share in the chat. I'll share with you the user documentation that explains a little bit. But the idea is that if you are asking the browser to render more than 200 items, it slows down the browser and at some point it'll crash. So yeah, I mean, we have dedicated documentation on the subject and I'll share with you.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think that piece is okay because what I did is I've got pagination put in so that it's now limiting it so that you won't see them all. The thing that I'm running
Perfect.
into is the pagination never goes away. So like right now we can see there's 4 pages here. And if I choose something like let me put in a couple options here where there's only like 5, it still tells me I have 4 pages, even though these ones are all going to be empty.
yeah, that's because the filters are on your collection. So you need to, can you show us how you built this? What is the table? Where did you put the filters?
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm
here
guessing you
we
put them in the
are.
collection.
So if I go to, it's been also been in here. Let's see.
The collection.
The
Can you show me
collected
the
list,
collection list?
is that
Yeah.
right? Okay.
And can you show me where? So what it's bound to, yeah, if you click on items here.
Sorry, pretend that
On
I
the-
haven't used this for like 3
Yeah,
months. Where
yeah,
do I
that's fine. On the right in the styles tab, if you click on items, the little purple thing, if you click
Okay.
on, yeah. Okay, so see you have the filters in green.
Yes.
If you,
Okay.
yeah, no, so on the, where you have the arrow, if you open that, you will have your filters here. And the thing is, so the filters are happening at the on the page. So these filters, it's going to be a little bit annoying, but instead of having them here, you would need to have them in a collection level. So if you go to data on the left, so on the left you have your layout and then data and then actions. If you go to
I see it.
data
Okay.
on spells, you can go to spells.
Yep.
And then towards the bottom, you have paginated and filtered.
Okay.
So if you click on that, this is where you want your filters. So you want to remove the filters from the page and just have them here. It looks like you might already have them. I don't know if they're exactly the same, but the idea is that if you want, like your pagination is happening at collection level. So you need to, if you want the pagination to reflect the filters that you have, you also need to have those filters at collection level. If you have them afterwards, like at page level, the pagination, like the paginator will not know, it will still, I'm not, does that make sense? Kind of.
I think so. So
You
let me
think, yeah.
repeat just to make sure that I'm
Yeah.
understanding. So because I have the collection set up that's then pulling through all of these spells, and I have the pagination set up on that collection so that it's limiting the number
Exactly.
of spells it'll load so it doesn't crash. But I
Yeah.
have the filter set up later after it's already done that pagination. The pagination is kind of working like a gatekeeper. So like once it's in, it doesn't care what's there. But then when I'm filtering it, I'm filtering on what's already in there, and the pagination doesn't know to update because there's nothing telling
Exactly,
me. Okay.
exactly.
All right. So I can move
So
the filters from where I have them to the filters here on the actual data itself, so that when you're doing these filters, it's filtering the data, which would then reforce it to do the pagination and update as you make choices.
yeah. And the one thing where you might get stuck is that when you, on your workflow on the inputs right now, so if you go to your select workflow, like if you go on any select on your page there.
Sorry, where am I going?
So on the page layout on the Canva itself,
Okay.
if you click on a select input, one of the filters you have.
Oh, like up here.
Yeah,
Yes.
can you go to layout right on the left? Oh no, it looks like you're on the.
I think it's okay. It's
Yeah, so
the
if you go right to the right and click on the workflow.
Right to the right and click on the workflow.
the last tab.
The last
the
tab.
last-
So style, here you're on the style tab on
Sorry.
the right.
No worries.
Yeah,
All right.
Top
All
right.
right,
To the
I'm
right.
on
Really on the
to the right.
sidebar. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the sidebar.
Third
The last tab
third tab.
here. You
This
need to
thing.
create. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you'll need to create a workflow that fetches the collection again.
Okay.
Just to make
So
sure that that way it will update the filters at collection level and the paginator. So that's the one step you'll need to.
okay. So if I follow that, if we move those filters to there, I'll need to put this workflow in, which will refetch that collection anytime one of these is updated.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Makes
Sounds
sense?
good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I guess the last piece is there, like, this is not my area of expertise, clearly. Is there a better way to pull this data so that it doesn't have like the loading limitation, or some other
So
way to approach
loading,
this?
so right now, I'll share in the chat the 2 videos of the Academy that explain these topics in depth, because we don't have time to cover them today. But the idea is here you're not loading that much data. It's just that you're trying to render too many for the browser. So it's fine that you're loading, if you're loading 1,000 items and it's not too voluminous, that's fine. Like your browser seems to be able to handle it. but you can't render 1,000 items on the page, no matter what tool you use. The browser will not like that. But I'll share the videos from the Academy because, again, we covered that in depth.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It's been, I don't know, probably 6 months since I watched those, so I'll take a look.
No worries, no worries at all.
All right. All right,
So,
perfect.
yeah,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Talk
The
to you
only
soon.
workaround you could have is to make the pagination yourself if you really want to make it only on the front end side without using low correction, but this is going to be harder for you to do it.
Gotcha.
But this is one way to do it. And also don't forget to put some fixed height on your table. It will load faster.
Sorry, what was that last thing? Fixed sizes?
So all your cells in your table, I think here it's a height put as auto, I guess.
Yeah.
Put a fixed height, it will be a lot faster.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So fixed size.
Fixed height
for
for
the-
all your cells when you repeat a lot of items. Fixed height, fixed height, fixed height. All of
Okay,
you
so that'll
try
increase the
to
speed.
remember this. This is a trick. So your browser won't have to calculate all the height of all the cells.
Okay. Will that be an issue if there's the expectation they'll be using mobile and desktop to access this for knowing what size you'd need for both?
You may need to add some breakpoints and different values indeed.
Okay.
You may need to do that, but this is something, I mean.
Okay, I'll play
should
with
be
that.
easy
That's
to
a
do.
great tip. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Take
Talk to you
care, all.
soon.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, so we have 9 minutes and I don't know which question to choose because they're all complex. So
Okay, so let me try
Uh,
to answer some of them without sharing the screen. So Edgar, for the fixed column and fixed header, so you've got the
he's using a
property.
stack. He's using the stack element because it's a dynamic. He wants users to be able to add rows. So he's not using the table element.
So, okay. So what element is he using?
The stackable, like the Kanban, you know, but it's stackable.
Okay. So this one is hard indeed.
Yeah, this one is hard. Edgar, could you try to record a video for us showing us how you set things up? Like create the topic in the community and send me a direct message with a link to the editor so I can have a look at your project and I will try to reproduce it on my side and help you out. Maybe not this week because my hand hurts, but I'll try next week if I can. Because it is it's a very specific thing. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
So John, so what you want to do is quite complex. So what I propose you is to use the drop-down element in that panel. If you wish to build something really yourself, use that one because it has this property you want, meaning when you click somewhere else, it's closed. So what you can do is to use this element, the drop-down, make a select input from this one as you want, and it will work. I think quite nicely.
All right, cool. Alex is asking, does the watch scroll position on advanced interactions constantly run a scripted function? And if so, would that end up creating an intensive processing experience for the program? I enabled it on my nav bar and footer for all pages, so I want to know if that'll hurt performance of the app. That's a really good question. I didn't think.
Yeah, and the answer is yes. You need to use this carefully. This is why we have this toggle.
Maybe for the nav bar, like I'm curious to what experience Alex is trying, because if it's like standard top bar that needs to be sticky, then I'm guessing using the sticky option is less resource intensive.
Yeah, I need to understand a bit better the use case. We may need a video, Alex, I think, if we don't have the time right now.
Okay, let me
trying to size the body.
And Surav Surav, can you have you created a ticket in the community, Surav? Because that sounds like something we might let me invite. I'm gonna invite Alex on board. Alex, I saw you posted like 5 different questions. We'll try to just to address one or two. Yeah, Sarav, exactly. So it's a quick fix. So if you can post in the community, that would be very helpful, because I think it'll be much easier for us than, telling you where to click on the screen. Hey,
thanks for
Alex.
me on.
Hey,
So I guess
Alex.
so I'm building a menu system, and I just want for the last question about the nav and footer, just to have the body fully fill the space, as opposed to if it's a short page with little information, the footer's not halfway through the page, and just kind of accommodating for that sort of use case. So I wanted to essentially just have access to that nav side, the navigator size and the footer size in all moments, but then is that going to really be heavy on my
Yeah, no,
program?
you should not use those triggers and those watchers for this. So I think you can manage to do this with CSS. I mean, with the flex boxes. We may need to see your a screenshot
share
of
your
your
screen?
page. Yeah, if you could share your screen, it would be much more easier to help you.
Okay, so now that one could be a quick answer, but I think you kind of gave me the answer about it being. I'm trying to think about where. So let me just go to a menu page. I gotta turn the header back on. I'm trying to think of what other, just say like event details or something. Ah, I signed out. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's one of the less important ones right now. Because I think I realized what I just have to not do that, and I switched it from just putting in values of what my header sizes were, and I just wanted it to be a little bit more automated if the screen changed sizes and things. But I can go ahead and fix that.
Okay, cool.
Maybe we can jump to one of the next questions.
Yeah, well, maybe
If
we
you
can
have
take, yeah, go for it, but please make it quick so we can try
So-
to get Sarav on board.
So this was one of the ones too. I was trying to figure out how to get a horizontal scrolling, and I want to put a uh, left and right button that pops up based on if I'm scrolling or not scrolling, but just the
Okay.
way that the conditions read. I'm trying to remember where to find this component position. So I put it on event carousel. So I get this data, but I don't really know how to read it. Or maybe it's event items.
Did you watch the tutorial on the topic?
Oh, I did not know there was. Maybe I'll look for
Yeah.
that. That'd be
So sure,
yeah.
I'll
Sorry,
share that.
I'm in
No
and out of
worries.
this building off and on as we do other
No
things
worries.
and events. So I'll stay up to date as well as I should.
Let me find it for you. But the idea is you have some values that are in pixels and some that are the percentage on the y-axis and the x-axis. So I
Okay.
just logged out of my Gmail account. Yeah. Can you
This is
take
quite
over,
nice.
Flo, while I
That's
look
fine.
back?
I guess
Also, well, this is really nice what you did to build it yourself. I really like to see that. But you also have a slider elements that you could use and that could work also better on mobile. So you might
okay.
want to take a look to this.
The
It could
slider
help
element.
you. Yeah, slider elements, something like this, content slide or
Any of these?
match. Yeah, any of this one. I think the first one for you would be the one you need. But you can take a look to this and then you can drag and drop your card component inside, and you're gonna have a lot of properties to kind of display it like you want.
Okay. Okay.
And
Great.
you're gonna have the mobile gesture and those kind of thing coming with it.
Okay. I'll look at that and see if that solves my problem. And if not, I could find that tutorial.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. We'll leave the other questions for another time then.
Cool, thanks a lot. And
Thank
Sarav,
you,
let's
Alex.
Thank you.
if you can post in the community, Sarav, that would be awesome. Like, especially if you think it's a quick fix, because the office hours are like, it's sometimes difficult to point you in the right direction with a screen. So that would be super helpful. All right, let me just find the 2 videos of the Academy about the performance and pagination to share with all of you. So the idea is that you have the option to use backend filters. You have the option to use front-end filters and back-end pagination and front-end pagination. And both these videos I just shared are very helpful to understand what each option does, and each one has its pros and cons. So okay, Surav, this is not the first time it happens, not expected such thing. Right, well, sorry, we do our best. All right, have a great evening or rest of your day, everyone. Talk to
And-
you. Yep.
Yeah, just Bertrand, check the local storage instead of the preserve on navigation. I think this is something that should be always there, and you won't have the default value issue.
Cool. All right, talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.